Harry went out there on this beautiful day. So I just like to share. The Bible talks about the tare and the wheat. And Jesus said, don't try to uproot it yourself. At least you uproot the wheat. And to someone who don't have their spiritual discernment exercise to know the difference, they might the terror might appear to be weak to that person. And so yeah, you do have to be mindful, because that terror can really be really have wrong intentions and everything else. But that wheat might not notice it. That terror can be in the congregation, among the believers. I think about Judas. Like the other disciples, they didn't know that Judas was terror. Because I'm gonna tell you how they didn't know. Because when and at the supper, he said, one of you at the table is going to betray me. And all of them saying, well, Lord, is it I? They wanted to know who was it, that would do it. And so evidently they did not know until, Judas, gotten up. And, of course, Jesus said that he that, dipped when I dip, and then they knew who Judas was. They knew he was going to be the one that betrayed Jesus. And also, too, and of course, and then Jesus told him, whatever, you're going to do, go do it. Let's go ahead and do it quickly. Jesus, go ahead and get this over with. He knew the things he was going to have to suffer. And, he was like, go ahead, and do what you're going to do. So what I'm saying is, I can just imagine all that time, that Judas walked with Jesus Christ. Jesus knew. He knew he was going to betray him. He knew he was terror. But at the same time, I can just imagine, being, the sweet and loving God he is, he still treated him just like, he was weak, at the same time, knowing he was terror. And so, because you can, like he said, you can end up, uprooting the wheat. If you judge wrongly, if you don't know how to really, have wisdom on how to deal with the terror, the terror can actually uproot the wheat. Yeah, I just thought I would just like to share that, because it's just something I just really think about. It's really something, But anyways, have a blessed day.